Here's the reasons why I hate most of BasedShaman's subscribers. The reasons I hate most of you, meaning his subscribers, is because the vast majority of you keep on offering me stupid fucking goddamn advice that sucks balls. And you can take that advice and shove it up your goddamn ass. And shut your goddamn mouth. Because all you're doing by keep on nagging me, annoying me, trolling me, hating on me, bashing me, attacking me, harassing me, is you're irritating me, you're aggravating, you're being highly and absolutely annoying, you're being a smartass, you're being a lunatic, literally a lunatic. Because this is what I see every time BasedShaman, out of the goodness of his heart, does a video on me, which I really appreciate. This is what I see most of. Why can't he get a job? He should just get a job and stop whining. Get a job, you bitch. Get a job, you bum. This fucking loser needs to get a job. Why can't this guy just get a job and then he can buy everything he wants? No, I can't. Oh, why is that, you ask? I'll tell you why. Because no job will ever offer me, or in other words, pay me enough money to buy everything I truly want. And you know what a great solution to this would be that most of you never offer? Be your own boss then. And not just be my own boss, which I would love to do more than anything. I don't know what I would be good at. I don't know what I could do. But some people also, out of the goodness of their heart, have actually offered me some pretty damn good advice that I just might take into consideration. Like some people have said, well, one person said, maybe you can do online articles, like be a writer and write and like publish online articles. And I was thinking like, damn, that might be a good idea actually. I'd probably like to do something like that. But what's sad is I would need a computer. Even if I were to start out, meaning even if I were to have a starter computer. But of course, no one out there at all that I know of, especially complete and total strangers, when most of you are nothing but shitheads, literally shitheads, will ever offer me even simply $1,500 so I can buy a laptop, buy a mouse, buy some headphones, and buy a laptop case holder. None of you, not a single goddamn one of you little annoying pricks will ever be compassionate enough, understanding enough, kind enough, and loving enough to say, you know what, $1,500 is not that much. I can offer him that much. That's not that bad. And even if one person can't do that, fine. Multiple people can team up then and offer me that much, and then just maybe I will be able to be an online writer and write articles and make good money. So I won't use it just for complete and total waste. I mean, I will keep continuing to make videos, but they won't be any more complaining videos. They'll be so different. I mean, I may still sound depressed and negative in my videos, but I will not complain anymore. And I promise each and every single one of you that, and I guarantee each and every single one of you that also. But even though I say that and admit that, of course, most of you pieces of dog shit will never take any deal that I am trying to make. None of you. Because you're just a bunch of selfish, self-absorbed, self-centered, narcissistic pieces of dog shit that suck each other's dick because you're all a bunch of worthless faggots. And you know, it's really sad that so many of you are hurting me constantly every day, and none of it ever seems to affect you one bit. How much more pain you're causing me, as if my life isn't already a living hell enough. As if I already don't have enough bullshit that I have to deal with every single day and have had to deal with for the past 6 years. Yes, that's right and correct. 6 years I've been going through nothing but hell. In complete and total flat out bullshit that none of you would ever understand, no matter how hard I try to make you suckers feel my pain. Feel my exact pain and suffering. And you know why? Because you never had to deal with or go through the same exact suffering that I did. You're not in my shoes, you're not in my position or my situation, nor have you ever been in it. You're probably, like most of you, are probably people who were spoiled fucking rotten growing up as a bunch of bratty ass, filthy ass kids who just got whatever you wanted simply by asking your goddamn wretched parents, either for your stupid fucking goddamn birthdays or stupid fucking goddamn Christmas. The two things where people, the 2 times a year, I should say, that most people get spoiled rotten, except someone like me, who has never got anything that I've ever wanted. Never a single goddamn thing I have ever actually desired, ever got. Never. I was just not one of those many lucky and blessed, overly privileged kids and teenagers in America. And that's why I hate this country. But anyway, like, it really pisses me off that so many idiots on BasedShaman's channel are literally, honestly, wasting their oh so precious time to try to give me advice that I will never take, no matter what. You could put a gun to my face and blow out my brains, I would still never do what any of you fucktards ask. Because I want to do things my way. I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to be a slave to a manager. And you know what? That's probably why so many of you are so mad. You're the ones who are salty. You're mad because you probably have worked a shitty job for so many years, and you're probably a slave to your manager. a slave to your manager's every command. And you know what else? A slave to the system, a slave of society. Just a follower. You're not a leader, and nor will you ever be a leader. Most of you losers will never amount to much in your entire life, or should I say existence. I mean, really, most of your parents should have honestly and absolutely aborted you, or even gave birth, but then threw you in the trash. It should have happened. And it's really tragic that idiots and lunatics, such as yourselves, got spoiled rotten and are so privileged. Because if only your electronics were given to someone who, I don't know, better deserves them. Come to think of it, someone like me, who would have used it to his advantage. If I would have been given the things you have been given, obviously I wouldn't just use it to waste time. I would try to find a way to make money by playing video games or by making reaction videos or something, or I don't know, stuff like that and whatnot. But sadly, most of you probably just waste your fucking time most of the days you're alive. Every day you just waste your time, at least on the days you're not working and at your stupid ass lame job. And this brings me to another reason I really absolutely just utterly despise most of you, meaning his subscribers, because so many of you constantly, nonstop, keep on accusing me of being a shooter. And that's why I'm calling you out on your bullshit, because you're the ones who are a bunch of sick in the head, twisted, immoral, filthy, dirty, nasty, disgusting, revolting, gross, immoral people who are the ones who need help. You're the ones who need therapy. You're the ones who need medication. You're the ones who need to be put in an insane asylum or at least mental hospital. You're the ones who need to be on the FBI watch list. Like, it's funny you're accusing me of being a shooter when it's probably you. It's probably you who is planning something terrible. How do we know? How do we know you're not the ones who are planning a mass shooting? All you trolls on YouTube every day and all across and all over the internet. How do we know you're not planning some really heinous, sinister crime behind your screen, behind the scenes? How do we know you don't have skeletons in your closet? Seriously, think of that. Think about that for a second and let that sink in. Like, it's just so sad that so many of you keep on constantly accusing me of stuff that I'm not ever going to do, no matter what. And you know, this brings me to the last reason I hate most of you, meaning his subscribers. Not all of you, but definitely, most of you, because you're probably trying to actually tip me over the edge. But, you know, I don't have any guns and never have. And they cost money, which I don't have and sadly will probably never have. And even if I did, I would buy stuff. Even if I never got to buy anything I want, I would at least buy groceries and provide for my family so my dad could finally retire. I would love more than anything to provide for my family. And that's why, even if I do get a job, I will never be able to buy anything I want. But you wouldn't understand that because you've never had to have so many siblings in your family. And you've never had to deal with all those problems of having so many siblings in a home at once and whatnot. I would love to full on take over for my dad. And so if I were working 50 hours a week, $10 an hour, that would be more than enough for me to provide for my family. That is if I'm still living with my parents, which will probably, if anything, be the case. But the only sad thing is I will never be able to spoil myself. And that's why I wish, out of the consideration of all of your hearts, that you would help me out, but clearly and obviously none of you ever will. So I'm sorry that I ever expected any of you fuckheads to ever help me in my need, in my desperate need of many wonderful and great things that I myself never got to experience and probably never will get to, because I've just been one of those rare few who just was not blessed and lucky enough of being born in a smaller family, and maybe even a dad who was richer, or maybe both of my parents, being born into a family where both of my parents could have been working. But no, only one of my parents ever had a job. And he's old now and he should retire. So if I were to get a job, which I'm not necessarily refusing to get a job or really being stubborn, I'm just simply trying my very best to make a deal with most of you by simply asking your help by saying, after I get a job, and make it obvious by even going as far as to make a video about it, even saying what job I got, what it's called, maybe even what my position is, and at least how many hours I got, and what days of the week I work, and stuff like that. After I do all that, if you, meaning most of you, could hopefully and possibly just donate $10 to $15 to my PayPal. Just only 2,000 of you. If, of course, most of you had a heart. But clearly and obviously most of you don't. And sadly yours is too dark to ever see my life of pain and misery, to understand my life of nothing but pain and misery. And you know, it's even funny in a way that so many of you complain that you have it worse than me, when in reality you probably have it better than me, because at least you're spoiled rotten. At least you've gotten everything you ever wanted, or at least most of the things you wanted. And probably also growing up as a kid, you probably were a really spoiled, rotten, overly privileged kid. Most of you are, and that's just a fact. And I offend you because you know it's a fact, and you know that you're guilty of being spoiled rotten, at least when growing up as a kid, you just simply had to ask your parents for whatever it was that you wanted when you were a child, and your parents will just hand you shit. Just bend over backwards to hand you shit while they're working their asses off. You're sitting at home playing video games or on the internet being a total and complete dick and cringy as shit. Trying to be like an internet tough guy from when you're like a little 8 or 10-year-old, or at the oldest 12. It's sickening, but it's the world we live in, and it's what's been going on for the longest time, the longest period of time, since like the 90s. It's been going on and happening. It's tragic and it's heartbreaking It's one of the many signs that society itself is collapsing as a whole. It's crumbling from the inside out. It's falling apart. One of the many reasons, in other words. But I can just tell most of you, meaning his subscribers, hate me as if I ever did anything to hurt any of you in the first place, when I did not. I did nothing at all to any of you. Triggered pussies. Overly triggered, sensitive pussies. And you know what? If your life is worse than mine, then that's your own fault and problem. And in my opinion, I think your lives are so much better than mine. Because at least you're spoiled rotten. At least you have nice things that I myself never got to experience and never will.